Alrighty guys, before we build the base, let's go on a little tour. I'm going to try to keep this pretty quick, so starting at one of our four externals rather, is 2.6k stone and 1.8k metal frags each. And then coming over to our other two externals, we're looking at 900 stone and 900 metal a day. Now these are basic disconnectables. All you're going to do is place a twig like that to disconnect it. And then obviously you disconnect all sides and you can replace your main tool cupboard. Alrighty guys. So without further ado, let's go into the base. I have a simple single door airlock here, followed by no peaks in compound on these sides. But following further, we have peaks out to our furnace funnel, along with shotgun traps, all on every side, along with an auto turret above. It's a little weird not to have peaks into compound here, but I opted for them on this side instead, just kind of trying something new. Coming further into our base, obviously we have a 2 furnace funnel on every side. Shotgun traps up in these modules, shotgun traps here, yet again, all different ways to kill ya, there to there. And then obviously another auto turret above. This one disappeared though, so it happens. Coming into here, we have 2 bedroom modules, one on either side of the base, that then has those peaks, those patricos around your base. Now these will be our main entrances into base that also house our bunkers. Jumping into here, this is where you can fit your bunker. I've done 3 large boxes and a large battery. There are alternative spots for your large batteries, but these are for your turrets for sure. And then coming around compound to show you that it's just to mirror the entire thing, like that. And then this side also has our auto turret on it. Coming up to this floor here, now on one side of the base, this is just honeycomb, but on the other side, it is actually our entrance. So what I'm gonna do here is fly around to our entrance and show you what it'll actually look like. This is our early game entrance. You can block this with a vending machine. It is totally personal preference, but here I just use it as another kind of loot room initially. Up to the right leads to our bed floor, and down to the left leads to our entire core and starter. I opted not to bunker the space as well, as I didn't think it really needed it. However, you could input one right here if you really wanted to. I've kind of honeycombed everything really well using these little vaulted loot rooms. I do want to touch on this real quick. This honeycombs it, so if they're going through this first door path, instead of just blowing in like most groups would down right here, they're actually met with this weird little like vaulted room that just like adds a weird amount of honeycomb to your TC, and I really do prefer it. I've done this core like this with deployables. I feel as if it's best. Barrels are just overpowered, not to use. Same with our TC room here. Main TC upkeep is 7k metal and 3.5k stone and 50 high qual. Continuing back upstairs, you're gonna see another one of these vaulted like loot rooms. What this is actually doing is honeycombing our TC from above, just to annoy anyone that's trying to top down us. It's just anything to annoy raiders. Any little bit of cost I enjoy. You can also glass window these guys off and just annoy them even more, you know, anything to annoy some raiders. So yeah, moving up further, this is our bed retake floor. Our beds have a vending machine here and then a patrico out into what is our rotation modules. And that's on either side. And this is our secondary battery locations. These are one wall from outside, but I don't see that as a problem as I'm usually using these for electricity. Coming into here, I have another bedroom module with box space for kits above and peaks onto that furnace funnel. And these are pretty good peaks, I like them. Now we have some roof retakes, super basic, but they're gonna work. And going further to roof, you have more peaks here. Little head glitches for further out to fob and in the area around. I love sitting here with the bolty. They also act as ankle biters to anyone flying from this area, which is also good. Okay, coming to roof, you can see we have 4 auto turrets up here. I only used 8 auto turrets in space, so you do have 4 more turret spots for wherever you may see fit. You can either double up on compound even more, or throw some in the interior. Usually bases don't have any interior turrets nowadays, so yeah. Also, these are rotation modules from compound. That's our main entrance from the gatehouse, and there's just straight up modules to go all the way up to roof. Turrets up below these bedrooms, it's the same kind of peak that was down in those side modules, just at a higher angle. And your barrels up here for your storage. They're really nice. Followed with some side peaks onto those same places and around. And along with some one-way brutalist, not one way, but brutalist peaks, because they're just so good for no reason. And and then a wraparound that also offers door peaks to even triple or quadruple up at this point on every angle. So yeah, I really do like them. And you can fall through this for a quick rotation as well. That is on purpose. Not really on purpose, but I actually like it as a feature. And if you don't want that, one Siren Light blocks it. And finally, you have your upper roof turrets. So yeah, more than enough room to land a mini, add a whole shop module in the center. So yeah, without further ado, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down in the description below. Feel free to join my Discord, the link is always in the description. And without further ado, let's get into an actual build. Alrighty guys, before we actually build the base, I know some people like to see the footprint, so here it is. The main base is a 3x2. These are our bunkers right here, with the openings there. Those are the bedrooms for compound, along with our gatehouses here. And obviously external TC is out there. So yeah, without further ado, let me get started. Now be aware I will use a little bit of build grade and stuff like that to speed up the build process. For the most part though, I try to stay away from it. But starting off with a starter 2x1. Throw double doors. I like to place my TC in this right side, or this left side rather. Make sure you place this on the left side as it'll make placement of a loot room thing easier later. I'm having trouble getting this in the corner really well. There we go. But yeah, TC in that corner. We're gonna go ahead and throw whatever deployables we might want. I like to throw my tier 2 in this corner like this. And then I'll usually put furnaces here. Bags. Don't even have a bag on me. Out. Here. Let me. Must have been a little buggy today. And then do my loot room. I prefer 2 large boxes in the bottom. And then I'll fit 2 barrels in front. Today I am struggling with box placement. Not a normal thing for me. See if I can get from that angle though. Doesn't really matter too much. And then eventually I will remove this and add more boxes, but for now, let's keep expanding. I remove this box or this door off here just for the sake of convenience. Now we'll make the next airlock. We want a wall on both sides. Another double door frame, and then I'll move that double door that was there to here. Now I have an airlock, obviously a little more space to play around with. And I'll keep expanding by making the next 3 squares. Wall in all 3 of these guys, and then I'll make my jump up here. I'll usually use this like this. Seal this guy off. Now I'm gonna make this loot room here. So what I want to do is place a lowered ramp like this. Then I'll come in here and place a temporary square, a triangle into my TC room, and then this triangle here back. Place my window here, rotate to the proper direction, and that's my little bit of a vault loot room. And I'll also go ahead and move, and make sure I had a shelf there, my double doors to this top section. Boom, boom. And of course you can keep double doors down here. I just moved them for the sake of convenience, but there you go. Your shelf is in there as well, as well as in this loot room. And when you eventually upgrade this here to metal, you then rotate it in for this loot room. Like that. Okay. Continue the expansion. Over here, we'll wall this entire section. Single door there. This side's gonna be a little electric furnace pad. So what I wanna do is I'm gonna come out here and add this guy and seal them in. This is floating on purpose so the bunker can be beneath it. The bunker loot room rather. And same with this guy. I'll also go ahead and add all these prep foundations for what will be honeycomb and areas for a bunker. But for now, I'm just trying to make it symmetrical so we can make this all kind of easier. And this guy, be a doorway like this. And now early game wise, I will add some sort of a, usually I just make this wood, just a wood jump in to get in place. It's a little wonky, but it works very well late game. Now we're gonna do another one of those loot rooms that's down there, here. And this will actually honeycomb our TC compartment from the top. Same kind of thing. A shelf in here. Window. That's not meant to belong there. And finally, moving the last double door to roof. Early game garage door and shotgun traps go really good on this spot as well. But let's come outside and make the prep for the bunkers and honeycomb the base. I'm going to turn on symmetry as well here to make life a little easier. So I'll honeycomb these back sections like this. And on these sections also, I'll just temporarily remove that jump up. Now our bunker will come off of this left one, gets a foundation, but the bunker's going to come off this right foundation here. So I'm going to place a temporary twig like this to kind of give me the start of that bunker. And now what I'll do is come in here, seal this honeycomb in, and a double door in here. And this is our prep for our bunker. This is where the bunker goes, or is rather. So early game as well, if you need to just chuck a battery in here really early, for whatever reason, it'll work. And as you can see, symmetry has worked. So this is what the base looks like from the outside. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna build the honeycomb up around the entire base so I can complete my third floor. And obviously, by the way, you don't need to do this guy right away, but it's all preference. I'll upgrade the roofs here as well. On each side, like this, we're gonna have a room for a locker. Put a wall here to the left. Half wall, half wall. This is a little retake onto what will be our drop downs. I like to do two single doors here, or a single door there, double door here, and then up here I get to honeycomb this guy in and seal him in as well, along with sealing off our roof. And now this side here, I've got to remove symmetry for a second. I get to seal this in and make this into a lit room. You can either have it be like how I do and just have it accessed from this middle section. Otherwise, you can't have it be accessed from this lit room as well, or this bedroom as well. Personal preference. And I'll retoggle symmetry just to add the frames that are all necessary. This is also another battery spot. And then I'll go ahead and throw my beds down and the proper embrasures to give me a nice peak. Okay. And then I'll usually move my double doors to this section as well. Alrighty. At this point, the tentacle, most of the main base, is done. I gotta seal this guy in. And also you can honeycomb this last part in there. So what I'll do next, this is our rotation that goes all the way to roof. And I believe, I always like to check this, yep, I use a half wall at the top, or a low wall at the top. So half wall, then low wall, then a triangle floor frame for that ladder hatch. And usually early game, I don't put my ladder hatches in here yet, because I just don't have them and they're kind of expensive. So I just throw a single door down there, just so it can't be really, I mean, it's not really useful in any way other than to like hide from someone, kind of, if you're coming from the outside. But now, let's actually do the externals. The main two externals here are going to be your multi-TC externals, which you're going to place these three triangles to get to here. And you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares out, place a triangle, break your build out, come back with triangles. I believe, yeah. Once you get to here, you're going to break your build out and place another 3 squares. Come back once more with triangles, and then you get a square, triangle, triangle. This is the footprint you'll be left with at the end. And what we'll do is add a square. There's the footprint for the gatehouses and everything. Be aware this triangle will decay if it's not connected, so at your earliest convenience, make sure you upgrade that guy. Let's stay at this for now. And place these tiles to make sure this triangle doesn't decay. Okay. Now let's actually make the external. 1 triangle, 3 squares. You can do bunkered externals, however, it is personal preference nowadays, as it kind of has been for a while. If you have the skills and are used to it, do it. And then my externals are very basic. I like to do them like this, with 1 garage door, and usually in my real wipes I will actually never even add the single door here, as it's just not really needed. Now I'll make the reconnect. And of course make sure to use half walls here. There's that guy. And obviously we've done it on both sides. Ignore sanctuary breaking and having these foundations here. I don't know what's going on there. And obviously you'll want to upgrade these guys. Let's continue on by making these turret pods. So if you do have turrets early game, obviously good to get those up as fast as possible. And these are pretty much bog standard at this point. Everyone kind of uses these. Roof triangles or roof ramps there. Chain link fence, turret, boom, boom. And I like to throw my locker here. And if you try really hard, you can actually get a barrel in here. Sometimes you can't, but yeah. I'm not amazing at my placements today, so I'm gonna be lazy. Boom. There's my embrasures. Sometimes the embrasures will actually stop the bed. Blocked by the roof triangle and bed. Doesn't really make sense. It'll work this way. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what placement error is going on right now, but I haven't really seen it before. There are a few new placement errors with Brutalist. I don't know why or how, I'll be honest with you guys, but I feel like ever since the last update or two, placing things around Brutalist tiles, like any of that stuff, has been really buggy. I just can't push them as far as I usually would be able to. And like the difference from like being on the server, like on a real server, to like any build server, I've actually been having more problems with them on the build server than the actual main server, which makes almost no sense. But nevertheless, we keep building. Coming through on here, we now get to expand and actually do our bunker modules. Come in here and add this wall, upgraded sheet metal along with the foundation. I'll open the bunker, add this roof triangle off of main TC, and then another triangle off of main TC. So when I close this bunker, there's no gap from the top. Now your bunkers are good. I'll usually come inside here and upgrade anything I could see to sheet metal, especially that guy. And if you do upgrade this wall, right now there's a conditional. You need to upgrade the outer wall as well to make it conditional, so there's no gap. Boom. And if you have extra resources, usually the entire first floor for me is what gets honeycomb, and that's how I kind of do things. Alrighty, continuing the build. While I jump up here, make sure not to add any double door frames here, as it'll break the bunker. Add a floor frame, triangle, and then build this guy up another story. One more. Now you can add the frames in here because it doesn't really matter. Boom, boom. Up there. And then on this side, obviously, this leads to nothing. It's kind of just a little bit of a wasted space. You can kind of do anything with this, but on the other side, which will make it make more sense, is your entrance. Here, we're going to add some peaks. So what we're going to do, I'm going to make this out of sheet metal. Add this guy in here. Comes a little bedroom. I usually just glass window this guy, and then I will throw 2 embrasures like this, along with continuing to jump up to what will be roof. And then I will place 3 windows. 2 of these guys. Let's do this guy. This double door frame needs to be placed from below. Covers the gap a little better. Like that. Also wanting to come outside and add these guys in to make the head glitches better for this bedroom, or rather to add what will be the head glitches. This sheet metal can be anything. It could be wood. It doesn't matter. I'll just leave it sheet metal for now. For the simplicity of it. That tile is not actually needed. If you did accidentally put it on as I just did there, it's okay, but otherwise you can add a little box space above. That works better that time. Now obviously we're on roof, and we need to make our wide gaps. But for now we can actually make this part of shooting floor just so we have something to defend from. What I'll do is I'll come inside here where this jump up is, and I'll add a temporary twig triangle to be able to place a floor frame here and here. Obviously come inside and break this guy. Doesn't really matter at what time you do that. And then I'll add double door frame here. I'll usually sheet metal these guys. Just instantly sheet metal them, why not? And then these will be our door peaks. So I place a triangle here and a triangle here. Add the windows like this. And then single doors go in this section. And early game, I will just glass window these off as it's cheaper than doing embrasures, and if I'm being early game rated, I usually don't want to be seen from anything far away, like a hill or anything. I just want the peak downs. That's really all I'm looking for. Anything to help me defend my base early game. And then what I'll do next is, we have 2 options on what we could do next rather. We could either add the next part of shooting floor, or we can add the next part of compound. I think we should probably add the next part of compound, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So, pretty simple. Go 4 squares out, break your build out. We're gonna come back with triangles. Get 1 triangle, square, left, start again. I had it right. Square there, so square, triangle, yeah, that's way easier. There's always a better way to do it. I usually only think of it when I'm actually doing it though. Boom, 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 that's perfect. This will be our gatehouse right here. It's a pretty close one, but it's gonna work really well. Same thing with these guys. If you don't place frames on these guys, in this case we're gonna be doing these guys like this, they will decay. So make sure you add these windows here. Add our single door airlock. These get walls. And then I will add our simple external. Too lazy to switch it back to twig today. Figured I'd just get it done. I debated on even showing this part of the video as it's just kind of me being repetitive on the same thing again. But alas, basic external. Now I'll add half walls on top of here for this turret pod, along with these triangles like this. You're gonna come inside of this gatehouse and add triangles, or a twig like this to be able to place triangles here. Those will house our chain link and create a little head glitch and compound utilizing these guys. I like to do some funny little peak things like this. I like this one. Now coming to place the compound is really easy. You're basically gonna place this wall straight off of this section. So off this point, you're gonna go straight off, and off this guy, you're gonna go straight off. And then there'll be a nice little gap in the middle, and it should be pretty self-explanatory on how to fill that. It's not a hard compound to place. I just don't look a little bit to make sure I get my gapping right, and that was pretty darn easy. Then with placing these large furnaces, you're gonna wanna place them this first one closer to this window over here to not have a gap down on that right. And then the next one, you're just going to be kind of filling in what is the other gap. And it should fit pretty easily. Not bad. Do the other side real quick. This is a really nice and easy compound to place and resale. So I do really like it. Came out really well for being two. Usually with two furnace funnels like this, they're usually a little janky, but this one just came out really nice and simple. And I have no complaints about it. Make sure I can place this guy. It was very random then checking this. Yep. Okay. Okay. Good. Now at this point, add in your barricades. You can do 2 barricades in this guy, but I'd just do 3. Anything to be slightly harder to grab. Cool. Let's continue making shoot floor. I'll come to these guys, these triangles, and make the brutalist peaks. On this one, you're gonna have to make a little build out to get it. And now obviously using brutalist. Do that. Here I can actually add stability for a double door to kind of fill in this what is a gap. Right here. Okay. Now I have a little bit of a wide gap to get to play with. This one is pretty darn simple. I believe we just build straight up. Yeah, we do. In this section, half wall sealed in, followed by windows, and then I use another whole set of half walls like this to get little boxes in those. Yep. You do windows on the side of these guys, and windows here. Put some embrasures. You'll have to do this from below down, like right here. Kind of jump up and place them like that. Coming to here, usually I glass window these guys off, but I will throw an embrasure on them anyways. Rotate these guys like this. Another 2 beds. These are my earlier game turret locations. I will throw them pretty far back there, as they are just another way and a more annoying turret for roof. Window, 2 single door frames. These are my main annoying roof turret spots that I then make. These pods, very basic nowadays. Also upgrade everything straight below like that in succession to sheet metal. This ramp is not needed or not required, but it does give you a little better head glitches and stuff if there's a fob in that direction. Make sure to actually add doors. Not being very aware today. Not feeling the best. Double door goes in this section. Any of these guys can get sheet metal like this, along with like that, along with the entire main inner roof column. That pretty much does it for roof. So let me think of what else to do. Outside on these guys, you're gonna want to sheet metal these, along with these upper pods, these turret pods. It's a cheap upgrade that's worth a lot. Coming inside now, this first level here will get sheet metal, as it does lead to what is our bunker, along with anything on this next second floor. These don't matter, but these do. These don't matter as well, technically speaking, but I will come inside and do that. Now, of course, the entire base does need deployables, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come upstairs Actually, rather, I'm going to first do the bunker here. I'll quickly show you how to do the bunker. And then I'm going to do a little bit of like a speed. I'm going to do each section, and then I'm going to cut back to it. Because deployables are simple, and everyone kind of knows how to do them nowadays. But I'll show what I like to do anyways. So let me go ahead and do that. Alrighty, here we are. This is pretty simple for me. Obviously, I've kind of just spammed every deployable that I would use. And how I do it, I do electric furnaces there. These loot rooms are then made. Each jump up can still be utilized for agile stuff, not just a jump up. I like to throw lockers on mine and or mixing tables. Furnaces, you get the whole idea. More boxes in these loot rooms, and then I entirely transformed our first floor into just a big loot space. Now you will notice I haven't used any high qual yet, as I want to wait until I was back here in the video to do so. What I want to do is upgrade these tiles to HQM in this inner 2x1 section as well. Now obviously, in my case, I will have to pick up a bed to get this, along with this wall. And this wall doesn't really matter, but why not? And the only other wall that kind of makes sense to do, since this is all double honeycombed, actually comes over to this section doing these two walls. It's technically more efficient to upgrade these two walls than this wall, but if you have the excess, why not just do them both? And with that, place my bed back. It doesn't want to. Welcome to Rust. I love the new placement things. They're kind of cooking everything slowly, and it hurts my soul a little bit, at least on the placement of building objects and stuff. But without further ado, guys, if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns about the base, let me know in the comment section down below, or join the Discord. The link is always in the description. Without further ado, guys, my name is Nine, and I will see you in the next video.